I've been having a look around at Explore, and one of the most interesting devices I've seen is this incredible machine that's just behind Suresh and Chris. And Chris, it belongs to you.
It does. Yeah.
What is it?
This is the Bomber off-road wheelchair, essentially a mountain bike for someone in a chair. That was the idea behind it.
And where have you been in it?
The chair is, well, we designed it, as I said, as a mountain bike, so I've used it in the Alps when I've been skiing on the cross-country ski runs. I've used it on the fire tracks at Forestry Commission land, riding with friends. But also, our first prototype was used on an expedition that went across Africa. A tetraplegic adventurer took it on a trip from London to Cape Town.
Fantastic. And your background is in agricultural engineering, so are there hallmarks of a classical tractor in there somewhere?
I'm not sure that my background, my training certainly ag engineering, but I ended up in a chair at the age of 19 and realised that my days of driving tractors were over. But loved the countryside and loved getting out. But there was nothing to allow me to give me the freedom that I used to have. So I set about with some university friends to design the chair.
What's really interesting is that you wanted this chair to enable you to get back to doing the things that you loved before your illness struck. But now you're telling me that this thing is available for the public to buy.
Yes, absolutely. We started about marketing this commercially, well, developing commercially about 3 years ago, and we launched it in June. So yeah, we're looking now to start exporting to France. So 2008 will be a good year, I think.
Wow, fantastic. And it was Suresh's inclusive expedition seminar here at the RGS that was in some ways a catalyst for taking the idea out of your head and getting it actually built.
Absolutely. I mean, before there were anything on paper, I came here and met with Suresh, and you could see the broader need for a piece of kit that would allow people to participate in outdoor activities.
Suresh, I mean, this is a fantastic example of what's available now.
Agreed, yeah.
And your whole legacy that you want to leave the outdoors is equipment to enable people with disabilities to get into the outdoors.
Yep.
It's events like Explore and your own inclusive expedition seminars that bring these people together. Where do you think all of this equipment is going to go next in taking people forward to get onto expeditions?
I think there's two roads. I think there's going to be some really high-tech stuff that is going to be really sort of computer-driven and that kind of stuff, and that's going to, you know, help people with sensory impairments do navigation and those sorts of things. But then there's also the real practical, sensible engineering, which actually I think in many ways will have a broader impact because it will be more cost-effective. From an ethical perspective as well, you know, is it ethical that we use all of this technology to get into this natural environment, and where do we stop wrapping ourselves up in cotton wool as explorers and just say, right, we've just got to rough it a bit, and so I think there's those two realms, and for me, I will always plumb for the reasonable level of engineering and reasonable use of resources, but I think that there's also going to be this other sort of sphere of development which is going to be high-tech, computer-aided, and that kind of stuff, and that's great. But you know, I think that things like this are emerging because people have got different expectations, greater expectations. It's actually fantastic.